Hey everybody, and welcome back to Market Mama's channel. I'm Becky and this is Kendra, and we are day traders from the West Coast, and we have been in this world for about 3.5 years. Started with futures, did some options and swing trading, but we definitely are day traders at heart. And we wanted to create this podcast so that we could come to you from the place of messy middle traders. And so we're no longer beginners, but we're definitely not as consistent as we intend to be. And so we just kind of want to talk through the experience of figuring it out as we go and jumping right into the fire and growing from there. So welcome and let's get into it.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you all for joining us and visiting our channel. We're going to do just a free talk today. We've kind of been playing around with free talk, freestyle, real talk. We have a lot of really informative videos that we've created in episodes and really awesome interviews. And we just always gain so much value, and we never have enough time to really extract it all and go through it all when we're in each episode. So we're going to just do a review and talk about some of our most recent recordings. One of them that we really wanted to touch on some more is Amanda. Shout out to her for just, being so proactive in reaching out to us and, wanting to just soak up as much as she could, as a beginner trader who's very, very much a beginner trader, like literally just starting out with her education. And so it's crazy because we ended up pretty much being interviewed by her. And for Becky and I, that's how Market Mamas, this idea, this YouTube channel, this podcast really was born. Is about 11 months ago, we were kicking around the idea, like, we've came so far and we're nowhere near we want to be, but like we've been through some things and we should interview each other. And so that's really how Market Mamas was born. But what was interesting is we started interviewing everyone else and we still hadn't really yet interviewed ourselves. So thank you, Amanda, for giving us that opportunity. And it was just really cool to kind of recall and really think back to everything. And it's just that brings so much value to not only our own experience and honoring the process, the long game that we're in, but also our goal with Market Mamas was to create a safe space to really embrace the real lives of, aspiring day traders. And so I think we really captured that in that episode.
Yes. And her coming to us kind of makes me think about the power of manifestation and visualization, actually, because we have talked about those in your trading journey in general, about how you want to envision yourself when you are successful and kind of bring that into your current existence and know kind of what your goals are that you're working towards. So it's always in the forefront of your mind. And Kendra and I were really like, we really need to get an episode out that's interviewing each other, kind of give more of our backstories and our trading history. And literally we were like scheduling when we were going to do that to like interview each other, like I would interview Kendra, and Amanda just comes out of thin air and finds us and like starts asking us all these questions. And it was like, girl, like she's the interviewer for us. And that literally what the episode is she's kind of getting all of our experience from day one all the way through to where we are currently as day traders and women and entrepreneurs in this world. And so it's crazy because you can manifest things. Like you can really fixate on something that needs to happen in your life and then things kind of align up for them. And so I really gonna have to give a nod to that little powerful exercise that we all could be doing more of in terms of visualization and manifestation, because this is a real time, like this month example for us.
Yeah, we totally attracted it. And that's so true, because I mean, we had been talking about it since we got back together in October and we did the panel interview with everyone. Shout out to everyone who participated in that. I mean, we were supposed to carve out some time that weekend to interview each other, and it's just everything else happened and we never
backburnered always.
Yeah, every time we were just like backburner, everyone else. And so it was very cool to honor ourselves and to just share all of that. And it's just, I love how things just keep kind of, aligning. I mean, things just keep kind of dropping into place for us. Like, thank God, we know we're on the right path. And that when that happens, like, it's so affirming. It's like such a great confirmation to know that, you're doing the right things and, just keep going. Because, we've had like slumps and slow periods where we've kind of grown stagnant, but just yesterday we hit our 400th subscriber milestone. So, I mean, that's awesome. Like we're celebrating all these along the way. I know it's like we're babies, of course, in the big, massive world of content creation, YouTubers, influencers, but hey, like we're making our way on this journey and creating a space and just being uniquely us and doing what we intended to do. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we do only have 400 something subscribers right now, and we're not forgetting a zero, but we're still young. And so everyone that does like and subscribe and comment on our channel, we're seriously like it's very exciting for us still because we really like pour ourselves into this. And we are figuring out all the back end, like video editing and blogging and all the ways we have to network and post things. And this all opened up the whole world to us that we didn't even know existed. And then when we do get the feedback from people that they are appreciating the content and finding value in it and subscribing to catch the next videos, it's so heartwarming. And it really does affirm that what we're putting out there, it comes from our heart and what we feel like we want to hear when we were early traders and how we maybe could be helping people through it. And I think intentions behind actions really are very powerful, whether it's in a business pursuit, a podcast pursuit, or your day trading, just having so much positive energy coming from you does come back. And so even though our numbers are still small, we're still celebrating everything along the way. And we really appreciate everyone. And we also really appreciate the people who have been brave enough to come on an interview with us, because it really is fun for us to talk to other traders about their experiences, how they got to where they are so far and how they're moving forward and what they have overcame in their journey. And most recently, our trader interviewee was Cris from the Funded Society. And he was amazing because he's younger first. He's not a parent. And he already has his own mentoring company that was really, really, he's just like kicking ass in his life and taking names and moving up and growing it. And he interviews people who are looking for trading to see if they're a right fit for him. I mean, there's so much maturity coming out of him. There was a really good conversation. And I have to say, Kendra knows this, that I really was not planning on saying in that interview that I was over trading, because that was like in the heat of the moment for me when we interviewed him. But I think I even had like a crap trading that morning where I had overtraded and was not impressed with myself. And then we roll into the like, put the baby to nap, hair and makeup, we're going to podcast. Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to shake off that like negative vibe from the morning, but it's like, part of me was like, fuck it. Like, this is the trading that I'm in. Like, this is something that what we were discussing in that moment was giving me the feels of how I was like 3 hours prior when I had made some poor trading decisions and got stuck in a trading trance. And so I even said it in the interview just off the cuff of like, I don't know, I think I went on for like a minute about how I'm kind of stuck in an over trading mode. And those are the type of things that you can talk about with other traders and they get it. Like in that moment, it's like all three of us were like, yeah, I've been there and it's rough. And this is what I did. And this is what I do. And so, I think that that's part of what gives Kendra and I energy to continue to do this and think about all the different things that we could talk about, because it does hold a lot of value. And even if you're 3.5 years in, as I am, those days still come and they still sting, and it does help to like get it out. And since then, I've actually been trading really quite well. It's all a journey and we're going to wax and wane, but I love when we get to talk to other traders is the moral of that.
Oh my gosh, 100%. And I love that was our intention, to normalize all these things.
Yeah.
And I love how I've had that experience too. Like when we do these interviews, it's like we're hearing other perspectives, other experiences, and it has so much value. And like you have those like aha moments, you have those revelations like we both have during these interviews. And I look back and I mean, everyone who's came on the show, like, yes, thank you, because I've extracted, like, I almost feel like selfish sometimes because like we created this to serve and support everyone else. But I honestly, like, literally when I look back on these episodes and I listen to them over and I edit, like, it's like, oh my gosh, like that's so good. And like, I need to like, be mindful of that. And then I work it into my system and my process somehow. And so it's literally like by wanting to serve and help others, like, it's serving us. And like, I mean, that's just a full circle, like win-win all around. And so I just love it. And Becky, you were talking about, us growing, all of our subs and yeah, shout out to everyone, especially like we've been getting more comments, which is awesome. Like anytime you guys like comment and give us feedback. Oh my gosh, it's just like, we love it. And it feels so nice, like that we're seen and that you guys are loving it. So, we're going to continue on bringing all we can for you all. And yes, Cris is awesome. Thank you so much, Cris, for coming on. And I mean, you shared so much. It was a wonderful episode, and it was super cool to add some diversity to our channel. And also the fact that just, again, like things just keep kind of dropping into our lives. And I had no idea that he was local. He was in my same town. And so it was just very awesome. And specifically with that episode, I really enjoyed when he talked about resiliency, and when he just really broke it down, the importance of not losing confidence. When you have, when you're going through a drawdown, or you've been, taking multiple losses, and how that can affect your psychology. Of course, it just never feels good. But that's the business we're in, and just the need to keep on, doing whatever you have to do, regardless of how you feel. So even if you're set up, you feel like it's failed you, a few times, like, you can't just, you can't throw in the towel. Like when you see it and it's the right conditions, you can't lose that confidence. You have to act when you need to. So that really, really helped me. And it's something that it kind of shed light on one of my performance flaws, because I know I had in the past let that easily happen to me. Like I start to get down. I start to feel like, okay, I've taken some losses today. Maybe I should just fold my cards, like count myself out. It's like, why keep trying? I don't want to make this worse. Because of the fact that we've had days of trading trauma when we have made things worse. But I think for both Becky and I, like, we're getting better at being more neutral and staying in the game, on days when, okay, we just had some misfires, but we still can, stay focused, calm, neutral. And then on those days, yeah, like you got to just, keep taking your shots. And that's helped me. That's helped me to, not give up and just keep going. So the resiliency is major. And I think it's something that, again, just kind of comes with maturity and experience. But yeah, just so many good gems in that episode. Super excited for that one.
Right. And plus, like you were saying just now, is that it plays into the probabilities of our setups. So we've been trading long enough that we actually have some consistent setups that we trade. And even if they haven't won for a couple in a row, like the probabilities are that it's still a successful system, a successful edge. And so you do have to keep trusting yourself and just watching and staying cognizant and adding in more data and taking more time and patience to do it. And that's something you only learn with time. Like speaking of just having Amanda so fresh in my mind, it's like, this is stuff that's going to be so fun for her and new traders to figure out with time, because you have to just trade, and then you start to really see and feel when certain setups are really lining up or when it's like a maybe trade. Yeah. And it, all that we're doing in these discussions, it reminds me of a saying I recently heard from Steve Harvey. And he was talking on YouTube, and he said, when you put extra on top of ordinary, you get extraordinary. And I'm like, that is day traders, because most of us like have a means of living, right? We have a second career or a busy life in general, other things that have occupied us. And then we find trading and we're like, like this could be it. And so then we like throw ourselves in, and you learn and you study and you back test and you join communities and you start a podcast. You do so much extra, but it opened the door to like an extraordinary life. And I just really love that quote from him. And I'm like, that's all of us who are pursuing day trading or anything really hard, because you could have like a stable life and someone call ordinary, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a wonderful way to live if that feeds your soul and takes care of your loved ones. But shooting for the extraordinary is kind of badass, and it really is giving us like so much potential.
Yeah, and that honestly makes me think of the video we just watched last night that I shared with you. Really piggybacks right off of that. And so I don't know the name, but I'll definitely put a shout out in the final edited video. But this amazing trader for about 10 years, he's built many, businesses and a following as well, and courses. But his whole video centered around like, don't give up. Like reasons why, like practical reasons why you should not give up. Like not even just trying to like bring all the fluff about how amazing, day trading can be potentially, but just like logistically saying, like, if you've put in multiple years towards this skill, like there is nothing like this skill in life that you can learn and do in addition to everything else, like in addition to still having whatever else you want to have in your life or whatever else you do in your life. I mean, this is something that you can literally work around. I mean, you could literally spend 1 hour, and it's just insane. Like there's nothing else like it. There's nothing else. There's no other opportunity like what trading gives us. And so, I mean, he tons. I'm going to have to put in the video because it's tons of really good, solid points about why people should learn to trade and not stop, even when it is very, very hard. And, it does take years. Like it takes a lot of years, to get that consistent profitability. But I'm so glad that we've made our minds up to never stop. But yeah, it's just really, it's an amazing opportunity. And so
it's Swaggy C is what he goes by. The guy. I had to look it up because it was a really good video. So Swaggy C, we barely know you, but we think you're amazing from that video. And I mean, he's right that once you get the day trading bug, like keep it. It's awesome. We're awesome.
Also, life is just very challenging and in general. And we recently, this past like week and a half, I want to say, had some unexpected events happen with Becky. And so it's just been a challenge. Like, so even being here right now, recording right now is a lot for Becky. And so we just kind of want to touch on that because we know that a lot of people understand that, we have things in life that happen out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden everything's that was moving so smooth. Like it's just all of a sudden, like now just the bare minimum things are a struggle.
So I hurt my back 3.5 years ago at the hospital when I was working as a nurse. I'm still a nurse. And so I had surgery, and then I just actually re-herniated that same disc a week and a half ago. And it's a pretty significant herniation, and I'm trying to figure out if I have to have surgery or not. And we'll see, but it's tricky. It's like you can't see it, but it is causing like numbing nerve pain down half of my lower body. And so it did introduce this huge unknown. And it's like, this is a great time for that because I have 3 kids and 3 pets and 3 jobs because I'm a part-time nurse and podcaster and day trader. And it's like, I feel like I'm in the prime of my life and I'm building and creating and I love all of it. Like, I don't want to pull time from any of it. And then I was literally like brought to the floor in like substantial pain and couldn't walk for a couple of days while I was figuring it out and getting an injection. And, it's like, what do you do in that moment? Like you're scared and it hurts and you have to like put a halt on everything. And then, it perfectly coincided with Kendra's vacation. So I'm like, perfect. I was going to hold us down and like do extra things for Market Mamas and I can't get out of bed. So we just had to like pivot and now this whole summer is kind of in flux and things are postponed in terms of like trips and stuff. And then I lost almost a whole week of trading because I wasn't clear-headed enough from taking medication to be able to trust executions. And you have to take day trading seriously. I mean, that's not something that any of us should be doing on any substances. And so this week, like I have missed day trading and I love it. I want to be in tune with the market. So now I'm waking up and I'm trading before my morning meds kick in so that I'm clear-headed, but painful. And then today, even like straightening my hair and standing up for a long period of time, it's like sends pain. So this is like, you never know what's going to happen in life and it will show you what your priorities are. But also sometimes life forces you to slow down, which is what a lot of people have been reminding me of maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to figure out what it feels like to binge a little bit on Netflix and, embrace the fact that you're literally supposed to be in bed on a heating pad and have them bring you things. And so that's what I'm trying to embrace. But it's easier said than done for some of us, and especially for me. And I just really am thankful for my partner, Ken. I speak to you first. Don't tell Rob. My partner, Kendra, but then also my husband, my real partner. But it's you really lean on the people that have your back, and it'll be fine. Life throws curveballs.
Yeah, total curveballs. And I was thinking how ironic it was that yeah, your back injury was one of the reasons why you had all that extra time to even get into trading. And so it's almost one of those like things where it's like you like, fuck, I hate this. Like, I don't want to be in pain. Like, I don't want to be slowed down. Like I'm on a roll, but then it also makes you kind of be like, you know what? Like everything's always working out for me. Like this fucking injury is what got me to this place to begin with. So it's not going to hold me back. It hadn't then, it's not going to now. But we just got to rearrange things. And I was hoping that your pain would finally get under control and a little more manageable, because I wanted you to like at least be able to, yes, enjoy the downtime, and because I know you never have any, like we don't sit on the couch ever. So it's like, yeah, but I'm just, yeah, so prayers for Becky that things continue to get better.
It's uncomfortable to be like the person who is taken down. And it's funny though that you, Kendra, and Rob, my husband, are the only two that know me well enough, I think, to have gotten there. But he said it too. He's like, maybe something is meant to happen from this, because it is the first injury that's why I got into day trading, is I got that back injury and I was at home on workers' leave and I was losing my mind, like sitting around in a chair with nothing intellectual stimulating to do. And so then I just started getting into the stock market and learning on ads and stuff. And that blossomed all of this. And trading is one of the great loves of my life. And it brought some of my best friends into my world. Kendra, I never would have met her if it wasn't for that community that I joined 3 months after injuring my back. And so it's like kind of a full circle moment. And Rob, the other day, like last week, he's like, something really powerful came out of that period before, and you can do anything through this injury. And maybe this season is going to blossom even something more. And so, I don't enjoy any part of this right now, but I'm learning how to manage, and I'm still showing up. Like my laptop is getting a lot more hours on it than it used to, because I really prefer my full desktop situation, but is what it is. And yeah, it'll be okay.
It totally is. And it's just, that is what separates us, because we are continually, thinking in terms of what can be, like, what good is going to come from this, what is the potential in the situation, not what is in front of me, not the current circumstances, because sometimes current circumstances friggin' suck, but if you ruminate on that, they're going to continue to suck. And so I know you did some major work in you were so positive during all this. I was like, I don't know how you're keeping it together. Like you were like, girl, I'm on my Joe Dispenza. I'm going to manifest myself out of this. And I was so proud of you. I was like, girlfriend, yes, like you're so freaking strong and you can do all things. And yeah, so this is just temporary, obstacle you're going to, get right on through. And we also recently, which is so crazy that in line with this, the Magic of Thinking book review we did, it had just been coming, it had been in my mind, sometimes things just like come to your mind, your inner voice. And so for a while it had been in the back of my mind, like, you should, go through this book again, because it was probably one of our very first books we read together. And so really early on. And so, different stages, different phases, it's always really nice to kind of go back. It always hits you a little different. So I had told Becky, like, let's get back into this book and, bring it on the show. And so we recently did that, and it was just like too many gems to cover in one episode. And we tried to pull out the ones that were more like trading related, that we could, make those correlations. But I also wanted to highlight that is where, I forget which episode now. I mean, we've done too many, but the whole form and negative, form and positive, when you wake up, another Steve Harvey analogy, that's where that concept came from. And it's just so powerful. It really is so powerful. And then another part of the book was the excuse-itis, which is also known as having thought disease. And essentially it's like hiding behind excuses. And the biggest ones are your health, your intelligence, your age, and your luck. And those were just, just, again, that could be a whole episode of its own, right?
Yeah. We really can talk ourselves into good things and bad things. And I think whatever you think about most often, you kind of fixate on, and that's what you bring to fruition in your life. And I really think that there's so much power in that book. Like I really enjoyed like focusing on it when I was kind of down last week, because it was like, it's all right. Like we really do have so much power in our minds, and the things that we really think about, that's what we bring about, because that's what we work towards. That's what we keep in the forefront of our mind, and we know as is a priority. And that pulls a lot of weight. It's like your mind recognizes that this is the plan. And so then it also shifts and focuses your priorities. And if you're lean into excuses, like that's just, it doesn't ever get you anywhere. That's the recipe for failing always. And so, yeah, that was super good. That book was really powerful.
Yeah, it really was. And I love how he talked about how there's something wrong with everyone. Like everyone has flaws, physical, what have you. And we always seem to underestimate. A lot of times people underestimate their own strengths, especially like their own intelligence. And that often comes from, people overestimate everyone else. And then that's it's just not cool. Like we have to be our own like biggest fan. And I think that's really what the book comes down to, especially when he talks about doing selling yourself to yourself commercial every morning. It's like you have to be your own biggest fan. You have to start out the day with, hey, like I'm super powerful, I'm super amazing, because life is hard and we do consistently, get thrown things that aren't pleasant. And so if you don't have that really strong sense of self and ability, then you are going to be easily, derailed from your biggest goals, from your greatest dreams. And you're going to start to see those obstacles, for more than what they are. And I remember Grace, she talked about how everything in life is negotiable. And I love that because it really is, it's so true. I mean, we can always choose to change our point of view, our perspective's everything. And however we're choosing to feel our own self, our own identity is the most important thing. And so I really love how, he talked about how just needing to understand that being a problem solver and being able to think of ideas, like that is ultimately the greatest form of intelligence, because everyone can memorize facts. But if you can, despite the facts, if you can create new ways of thinking for yourself to get yourself through whatever obstacle, whatever hurdles in your way, that's ultimately what's going to keep you from, from giving up on yourself and, counting yourself out. So that was just a really, really powerful message in that book. So hopefully you all, pick that one up, and we definitely have the links for you in the description. We'll provide as well. So you can either purchase it through Audible or Amazon.
Yes, I really, really like that book. And I really like where he put in there about how your age is actually not a factor and that you can succeed and create a new life for yourself at any point. I mean, there's actually a lot of statistics about really big game changers who didn't even get started or get their first break until they were in their 40s or 50s. And so it's really, I mean, to say that I'm too old or I'm too young or I'm too this, I'm too that, I never had a college education, whatnot, that doesn't have to hold you back. And especially in this modern age. I mean, goodness, this book is from like the 1950s, I think, but like today, even more so, right? Like it's the possibilities are endless at our fingertips. You can learn almost anything, at least get your feet wet enough online with the free resources to figure out what you even want to do with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, age-itis is really just not happening anymore. And if you're considering if you want to be a day trader and you are 17 or you are 67, like you are welcome to figure it out. And there are very successful traders at those ages that have figured it out and done really well, and just found their niche within it, because there's a lot of different ways that you could go, whether say trading or any real pursuit of your heart that you found that you really have a passion for. I think that's what really he focused on, is if you are driven and you have a passion for something, like you can do it. So don't even worry about your age and don't make it a barricade. It can be a blessing, because if you are, as Kendra and I are in our later 30s for like one more day, then you actually, that is a blessing, because you have all of this years of experience to pull from. And being an experienced adult actually does bring so many things to whatever you're pursuing. It's like experience, it all correlates. Life experience brings you more patience and peace of mind and focus on detail. And that helps you in a day trading pursuit, for example. And it also, like, when you are learning everything and you're leaning on your data, there's no luck involved. Like we've talked a little bit about, maybe this person's lucky or they had a lucky break or he's a millionaire because his whatever, something lucky happened. No. Like it's just hard work. And you have to execute and figure it out and have a plan and then learn from the outcome of that. And so there's no good luck. There's no bad luck. There's just experience and what you learn and grow from when you fail and you make a mistake. That has the momentum to really exponentially make you rise. So everything is an opportunity to grow and, just lean into the work. And before you know it, the results will just start piling up. And it's really a beautiful thing that we can do for ourselves, no matter what your circumstances are.
For sure. I love that about the age too, because, I don't like when I hear like, oh, I should have done this when I was younger. I should have done this in these years. And it's like, you could still do all of that. Like you could still do everything you thought you should have done now. And you probably do it even better because like Becky said, the life experience, the maturity. I mean, I love getting older. Like I know for women, there is that stigma, like, you get into your late 20s and it's like, oh, I'm 30 and then 40. Like, and like I
Oh,
get better. Like we get better each
fine
day.
wine.
Like literally. So you couldn't pay me enough money to go back to my 20s.
Yeah.
I do not want to be that person anymore. So so I love that about age. And yeah, shout out to everyone who's, just going after what they want at any age. And Becky, this will come out later, but let's just all wish Becky a happy birthday because tomorrow it will be Becky's birthday. And we're definitely stay tuned because we're definitely doing a do-over of July of Becky's birthday because obviously we had, plans to do something because we were just together in May, but I mean, let's just face it, like we're due for another meetup. So we're going to have to reschedule that later down the line when things are better with your back and whatnot. But happy early birthday. I love you so much. And you add so much value to my life. And thank you for giving a part of you to our channel and just showing up. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Mama. I love you. And I'm really proud of us for creating this. And for anyone who's still listening to this episode by this time, like, thank you for being here with us. It's fun to watch the analytics. Like, it's like,
Oh, I know.
and some people stay. So to all of you, you obviously love us. Thank you. We love you too. And thank you, Kendra. It's really sweet.
Of course. Yeah. We love all of you guys. And again, please, reach out to us, contact us either through our email or our website. Everything's in our description, our socials. We're just excited to keep growing and keep expanding and love having others on the show. It adds immense value to us personally and, to growing this community. So just come on, like come, all the trainers, come out of the closet and, let's all share. So we're going to be back with more and everyone take care and have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.